Hello, y'all. Good morning. This is Jocasta Lester. Again, this is Jocasta Lester. After being awakened, before I went into the house last night, I experienced what felt like somebody running in my spirit and looking around and not being able to see. Like they had no way of seeing. And they were looking around. I felt it in my spirit yesterday while walking into our apartment building. This is in the parking lot. And I had a nightmare about my child in this room. I was in this bedroom. And at the time, I was working at MHI shipyard. I was going aboard the USS Laboon. In the rooms, there's a red room, a decontamination tank there. And the red light was bright in that nightmare. I've heard in my spirit that they raped and tortured my son in this apartment. I've heard in my spirit that they put him in the attic. I think something really bad happened here, and they've since moved on, but I don't know who lived here when this happened or while this is happening. I don't know if these things happen while I sleep. I don't know. But I heard different things. But the point of this video, I just link. In the Bible, I think the name is Amalek. There's a name where God has stricken it from under heaven. There is a name where that name is no more. And there are names that people have, and they've been wicked. And there are people who have done evil and cruel things to people, and their names are stricken. So with that said, I was talking about basketball goals being to the right. I'll explain to you why I felt that way. Like I said, like if people have a basketball goal to their right, I don't know what's wrong with that household, but based on what's happened to my household, I just conclude that something's wrong in that house. I'll tell you why. I saw my ex-husband, and I look at him as just the evil person that did it. So that everything about him is the evil person that did it. So when I went to go and try to get my son back or to see my son, I noticed where he was living, there was a basketball goal in the backyard, and it was to the right. So I was like, if anybody got a basketball goal right there, I don't know what's wrong with him, but something's wrong. That house, something's wrong there. Because it's directly associated with that person. I heard my cousin in my spirit. She was talking about how she was talking about herself some and how, look, I heard my cousin in my spirit, and I want to talk to you about some things. I've run across a few people, and the name Tom and Tommy, that one syllable, Tom. I don't know what's wrong with a person named Tom, but I've concluded, and I agree with what I heard in my spirit, that a Tom is potentially a very strange, weird person. My ex-husband's name was Tommy, okay? And Tommy Lester, no middle name. So I'm going to take all of the name, Tommy and Lester, and say that a person having the name Tom Lester is a person that you're taking a big chance if you bring that person into your life. Now, the next question is, are you a Lester by birth or by marriage? If a person is a Lester by marriage, then they are a victim. You got it? They didn't know any better. And that's the Lester last name. The Lester last name is the last name. It's the last name. Nobody wants that as a last name. Lester. You got it? That's the name where everybody says that's a victim, but whoever that is, we hate that person. Now, if you are a Lester by birth, was your mother a Lester by marriage? Okay? You are the child of a victim that potentially married a weirdo. So that Lester, I've seen as a first name, doesn't seem like a bad name, thus making it a name that still has some good to it. But Lester as a bad name coupled with Tom is horrible. So that's how I feel about it. So that my son's name, his name is Tobias, and his last name is Lester. That makes him a victim and the child of a victim of somebody that married a Lester. So, in other words, when I look at the portions of the name where I'm like, okay, this is bona fide, this is just a weird, strange person. Tom, that's the one. When I look at Lester, I'm not going to conclude that I'm not wrong with that name. I'm just going to say that sometimes when it's your child, you're like, no. That person was born of, if that person was born of a married Lester, they're born of a victim of a weirdo. Now, if that person is a Lester by birth, but the mother wasn't married, or the father wasn't married, in other words, in the marriage situation where it's mother and child, the child is potentially a victim. In the situation where that is not the case, then that's different. And that's how I feel about the Lester name now. So that Lester as a name is bad when Lester is the child of a mother who married a Tom. But I've seen something so that I've watched what potentially is a response to that particular name when born of a married couple. So, if you have a child with the last name Lester because you married a Lester, you're a little boy. Hold on with him. Hold on to him for dear life, for his sake. Okay. It's just names out there. So but I say all that to say this. Tom, so far I've seen, has been associated with some strange people. So have a blessed and marvelous day and repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The name Tom, I just think that Tom Hanks, we hear about him being a pedophile, right? Well, Tommy Lester, according to all of the accusations, he's supposedly a pedophilic torturer. So understand that. So have a blessed and marvelous day and repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Take care.